Justin Ellis here, and this is going to be 21.2 for the Legends Masters Comp. We went over 21.1. I'll make sure to put a link in the description, so if you missed that one and you want to go over some details for that workout, you can find it. First one was a couplet, two movements. Really got to honestly highlight the overall good CrossFitter: gymnastics, barbell, cardio, a little bit of endurance. So this one is, you got some grunt style workout, but you got some technicality with the jump rope. So let's dive into 21.2. And so we're going to look at this in a little different format from the first episode and get some clarity on some of these rules too, because it always comes into a factor, especially with double dumbbell front rack lunges. Let's take a look. Workout number 2, 14-minute time cap. We're looking to shoot for 4 rounds of double unders and double dumbbell front rack lunges with some rope climbs. Right off the top, the 75 double unders for most of the divisions. It drops to 50, 40, and then 30 for some of the 55 plus, actually. This, anytime you got double unders, that can be a make or break. If you're over there having to do 5, 10, 15, even 20 at a time, you're going to have to make up some time in other parts of this workout. So I'm not saying if you're the greatest double under, don't get me wrong, there's still an element to this workout that could crush some souls, meaning those front rack lunges. But at 75 double unders, if you're a pretty good double under person, this is 2 sets or less for pretty much almost all 4 rounds. Now, if you're not as efficient at double unders, this could easily turn into maybe 3 sets. I know I just said 20 or less. Well, okay, that puts you at 25 a pop. Let's just look at it from a time standpoint. 75 double unders, and there's going to be some people knocking this out in about a minute or just over a minute. Unbroken, very doable under the minute. If you got to break it up twice, maybe you're creeping over the minute. And if you got to go into 3 pieces, I still don't think it's a ton, but you're losing some seconds there. Either way, even if you're looking at breaking this up, from a strategic standpoint, 25 stop, 25 stop, 25. The amount of time is very limited. You want to give those shoulders maybe a little bit of a breather for the rope climbs later on. You're not talking about a lot of time of rest there. So that is the 75 double unders. And we move on to the 40-foot of double dumbbell rack lunge, front rack lunges, I should say. Now, there's some rules on this, and I want to clarify that first out of the gate before talking about a whole lot of strategy. They even highlighted it here. The rear head of the dumbbell must be clearly over or slightly behind the center of the athlete's body when viewed from a profile. And then they also go to the dumbbells must remain at the shoulders and the hands must remain around the dumbbell handle for the duration of the rep. Releasing the grip on the handle, resting solely on the shoulders is not allowed. Let's see. The trailing knee must make contact. I think we kind of understand that. So, with that being said, and also the setup here is important to know. You do have these 5-foot markers. You have to go 20 foot one direction and then come back 20 feet the same way you came. So you're going to end those dumbbells and where they started. So make sure that you have that marked for those 5-foot sections and 20 foot total, and then come back. The thing about the grip here, a lot of people like to rest both of the dumbbells on the shoulders and just kind of cup the front end of those dumbbells. You can't do that here. That would probably relieve a lot of shoulder stress, and that's not going to be the case. You're going to have to play with that. And so one way that I found that works best for me, and I have pretty fairly limited, I would say limited shoulder mobility, is flipping up the dumbbell and to a vertical stance. And based on what they were just saying, the bottom or the back end of the dumbbell has to be clearly in the middle of the body or behind, and that would still put that let's see here. The rear head of the dumbbell must clearly over or slightly behind the center of the athlete's body, and in this case, it would still be in that back kind of position. So, for me, that helps balance and open up those shoulders for that range of motion. You got to go all 40 feet. I think the trickery here is you got to turn around, and that's going to be later on in the workout. Round 3, round 4, you're really going to want to look at that and be like, maybe this is a breaking point. I can put down the dumbbells. Again, this is about being consistent over the duration of the test, the qualifier, and you're really going to want to turn right around and continue on. And I think a lot of times this is one of those movements where you can always do this. It's just a matter of, do you want to? Now, we didn't talk about what I thought, and you can look at this right here, is fairly heavy. 70-pound dumbbells for the guys, 50-pound dumbbells for the girls. So this may change. Can I go unbroken all 40 feet each time? It's 4 rounds. You keep that in mind. This is not an AMRAP. We do have a checker flag to get to. But this is going to be heavy, and I feel as if I'm pretty strong in lunges. That extra, what most people are used to is that 50-pound dumbbell for guys and 35 for ladies. That 70 is going to change the flow up. It really is. So over 4 rounds, as like every workout, you come out in a sprint. It's a matter of how you look at the end of the workout too. So don't think you're going to win it in the first round. But you got to find some consistency in that pace. 40 feet's not short for lunges either. For me, I still got to turn that corner and just continue on. And a lot of it is you're not necessarily going to do a whole lot more with your legs predominantly. So the lunges are kind of blasting out those legs, those quads, and those hamstrings. But in all reality, what are you saving that for later on? So I think it's okay if you blow them up a little bit. Yes, you're going to use your legs in the rope climbs, but it's not like you're going into a back squat or a bunch of wall balls or something like that after that. So yes, you can burn them up there a little bit. We move into 4 rope climbs for the first round. You're going to see descending repetitions here to 3, 2, and 1 on last round. Your shoulders are hit with those double unders. Your shoulders are hit with those front lunges or front rack lunges. This is where I don't think I'm jumping down to the ground and going right back up. I need to be prepared, and I need to have my technique fine-tuned. Meaning, what's your footwork like on these rope climbs? If you haven't practiced these a whole lot, that's where I'd spend my time. If you can learn how to get those feet locked in, you can climb rope as much as you would like to. And those shoulders are going to be fatigued, especially probably by round 3, even though you have only 2 reps there. You're not going to want to go up there that second time with all that shoulder work. All in all, and it would overall, with a 14-minute time cap, 4 rounds, descending rope climbs, really heavy dumbbells. If you can maintenance the lunges and you are pretty good with the rope, meaning sets of no more than 2, like a breakup in the middle there. This is a pretty quick workout. If I'm looking at this just to break down some numbers, in those 4 rounds, like I said, the double unders, let's say we can try to keep that around a minute 05. The 40 feet, I'm not trying to go fast here. Of course, I haven't done this, so I'm just kind of going based on experience, and that 70 is not something I've experienced a whole lot. 20 feet down, 20 feet back. Gosh, I still think you're probably plugging away. You want to be around the minute there as well with those front rack lunges. I mean, how many steps do you got to go into, 20 feet down? It's probably 5. Well, no, that's not true. You're covering. So, yeah, I don't know. I think overall you're looking at, let's say we can maintenance that at a minute and a half if you're going to set down those dumbbells at the halfway point. And keep in mind, if you set them down, you got to pick up those 70s or 50s back up. And that's a rep in itself, getting it in the position that you like. 4 rope climbs, I think that's going to be closer to like a minute and a half as well. So let's just say minute and a half in a minute. We're at 4 minutes for that first round. If you averaged 4 minutes per round with fatigue, you're going to finish this thing in 12 minutes. However, those rope climbs, the descending order as far as count, is going to help a lot in that time. That first one, let's say it was a minute and a half. The next one should drop closer to that minute 15, and then 2 and 1 is nowhere close to a minute and a half. So there's going to be some time to make up there. Did you lose it on the double unders, though, is the question. Got to stay consistent there. And that's why I said you can have a break in there. If you got to go, say, 35 to 45 in the first one and then finish out the rest, really try to hold on to that. Really try to hold on to the double unders. The more I'm thinking about it, the more I think this whole workout's going to come down to the double dumbbell front rack lunges. That's where it's going to make and break this workout, really. I mean, if you're not good at rope climbs and you're not good at double unders, you're probably not looking to put up a top score, and it's about maintenance there, and then kill yourself on the front rack lunges. Maybe you're a bigger, stronger athlete, male or female, and rope climbs just, get your footwork down. It still can help you. It still can get you up and down that rope. Just because you're a bigger athlete, potentially, that does not mean that you can't be successful at rope climbs. But you may struggle with the cadence of the double unders. Then you gotta go out on those lunges quickly. Now, let's say you're really efficient with 75 double unders, something you can go unbroken all the rounds. And that probably, if you got good footwork, maybe you're a lighter athlete, jumping is not terrible for you, you're probably going to be pretty efficient with those rope climbs. The dumbbells is what's going to hurt you. Honestly, comparative to some of the other athletes that would be in this ball, in this workout, maybe setting it down at 20 feet and getting your mind right to make sure that you're killing it the rest of the workout's not a terrible idea either. You don't want to have no reps in a workout like this with those lunges. You don't want to have to go back a step. You definitely don't want to have to put down the dumbbells at some odd point into the workout, shuffling steps or whatever, because you got to pick it back up or bring it back to a position. So so it says here even lunge rep. Let me see, where was I? Lunge rep will count with both heels are past the line. Similarly, if any time during the lunge dumbbells are lowered from the shoulders, the athlete must restart from behind the last 5 foot. Yeah, so you definitely don't want a no rep there. So put down the dumbbell if necessary. At that 20-foot mark, coming back around, it makes sense. It could also be a trap too. You don't want to. If you can, I'm going to try to hold on to it, even if it's a short, big, deep breath there. So, as always, guys, comment any other tips that you might have on this workout. This is kind of a first look, first glance. Haven't done them myself yet, so I'm really excited to get to put a little more work into the pavement, if you will, on these workouts and have some post ideas, thoughts. We'll have a couple athletes doing this workout too. So these are kind of the first ideas and concepts that I have on these workouts and what it might look like. And of course, every athlete's different. And I'm plugging away with playing the game. Being consistent, looking for top 10, top 20 finishes consistently on this leaderboard will qualify you. They're looking for like 30 to 40 athletes. So if you're in those top 30 to 40 each time, you're kind of a shoo-in. You want to put yourself in a good position, but that's the name of the game right here. As always, you can go check out CompLegends.com. Now, we do weekly challenges, and we post a blog and just kind of our whole concept of that workout. That also has the Spotify podcast that you can check out and listen to with tips and tricks. And we also have the YouTube video, of course, with our tips and tricks as well. So go to CompLegends.com. You can check us out on Instagram at CompLegends as well. And just a lot of exciting things that are going to be coming out with CompLegends.com. You give us your email address there at the website and be the first ones to sign up for the season once it begins, where you're going to be able to rank up your badges, rank up your skills, and have some accountability through the community of the sport of fitness at the Premier Fitness League at CompLegends.com. We're going to have that next episode up shortly for 21.3, so we'll have the links in the description so you can check them all out. Let us know what you thought.